achiever, right? So, I brought you to the Lebanese border. And we brought you to the Lebanese border because at the end of the day, every time you see things on maps and you talk about them, and we went through the Second Lebanon War, and enough of us are old enough to remember the First Lebanon War, there's a difference between seeing it and seeing it on a map. And on purpose, I use very big maps because I want you to realize that when we show here all of Lebanon and southern Lebanon, we're seeing a large portion right now of the southern Lebanon that you're seeing on the map, and I'll explain in a moment what we're looking at. And what I want to do, I don't want to give you guys a history lesson. I want to try and assist all of us in being able to talk and understand the contemporary issues. On some of those issues, you feel like you need a history lesson, but I'm not going to do that. I really am going to try and bite in to explain, as far as we can from the Israeli point of view, how things work here. I can't say if I had the honor, but I was the Israeli government spokesperson during the Second Lebanon War. I was in the intelligence, and I'll just add on in what's not written on the bio. My husband is also in the intelligence community. And until 2 weeks ago, his office was one hill away from us where there's two big red and white antennas sticking out of a base. And for 2 years, I would lug the 11-year-old, 9-year-old, and 6-year-old. Every third Saturday, including Pesach and Rosh Hashanah. My kids know that base intimately. We were there every third weekend for the last 2 years. He finished his position on Passover Eve, so for us it was, in Hebrew terms, you know, from slavery to freedom. I got my husband back, he's back at home, but I'm inside an area which is really close terrain to home because we really wandered around here a lot. What is Lebanon about? And I'm going to leave the map for a moment, and I'm going to talk about what we see. And essentially what we see in front of us is the crux of the Lebanese problem. It doesn't matter to me if you get exactly what I'm talking about, but you'll get the idea. If we look down, as I stand to make sure I don't fall, down at the slope going down away from us, can you all see that it slopes down and then up, covered with trees, and then basically the trees end, and you see the continuation of a relatively green slope, but it doesn't have any trees. That's actually already beyond the border. The border is what I call a dead observation area that we can't see right now, but we right now are around half a mile from the border. We'll be right next to it in a few minutes because it comes and goes, and we're going to see it more. And beyond that, you see a village in a valley, which is down at the bottom of a valley, okay? Now, I can give you the names, but you're not going to remember the names. The village that you see down at the bottom of the valley is a Shiite, Muslim Shiite village. Okay, village number 1. Go from the Muslim Shiite village, which is down at the bottom of the valley, and climb up to the left beyond the second hill away from us, where there's still green trees, and you see an additional large village, which is already a town, I'd even say, which is all across the side of a ridge facing us. Has a relatively large red roof structure in its back right side, okay? You are now looking at a Christian village. It is a Christian Greek Orthodox village. From our Shiite village and our Christian Greek Orthodox village, I want you to go, I do this carefully so that I don't get in the way, I want you to go from our village directly in front of a Shiite village, go to the area where you can see open fields and a little portion of a quarry, which is sort of brownish facing us. There's a little portion of a quarry, brown, and above that quarry you see an additional village, which very prettily is sort of climbing up away the ridge away from us, Christian Maronite. Go from the pretty village and further to the right to the east, beyond a wooded, cropped area that sort of looks like it has definitions. Beyond it, you can see what looks like not just a village, but even a town and maybe even a city, which is inside a ridge and going away from us. And that's the Shiite town of Binchbel, which was at the heart of a lot of the fighting here in 2006, and I'm going to get back to Binchbel in a few minutes.